sir, my question is, in your study of successful statesmen, do you see a common theme, a common sort of set of experiences that they had that made them successful statesmen? In other words, if we wanted to create a generation of successful statesmen, how do we go about doing it?
One thing that I find to be common to them is that they read. And in the beginning of the book, I sort of go through a list of Queen Elizabeth I read this, and St. Thomas More read this, and on and on down. Most notably, I think, is Winston Churchill. Churchill, as a subaltern, as a young officer in the Malacan Field Force in the northwest areas of the British Raj, when he was in his early 20s, instead of going off to play polo in the afternoon with the other officers, he would stay in his quarters and read Gibbon's Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. So, and that's the Rembrandt painting too. I mean, that is the painting shows Aristotle passing through the knowledge of Homer to Alexander the Great, and that's in some sense book learning through a teacher. So this is a very important thing. This is in Machiavelli as well. The Prince. There's a Machiavelli tells you, the Prince, what you need to do to be able to be a successful statesman. And he says that the greatest things in statecraft are the founding and the preservation of a polity. That in the American sense is Washington and Lincoln. But in doing this, he says, go back and read this. He doesn't give you citations, but when you are reading Machiavelli's The Prince, you know that although he's not giving you the title of the book, that he's talking about Pericles in Thucydides' Peloponnesian War. Or he's talking about another great book that he's talking about Dante. But he says, and here's where this is an important point, Machiavelli is not saying, go to this book because it's like a guidebook. You can't go to it and say, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look up where my particular problem in statecraft today can be solved by looking at page 194 of Grotius or Virgil. You can't do it that way. But Machiavelli says it's a central part of becoming a successful practitioner of the field.